Hey everyone, my name is Pip. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, I make fitness content. Today I'm going to be running you through a very effective exercise called the Renegade row, which works not only your core but your back, your rhomboids, your lats, your traps, your shoulders, as well as a bit of your glutes. So it's a fantastic exercise and a very underrated one. So today I'm going to be running you through how to perform the exercise, common mistakes to avoid, little top tips, and yeah, hopefully you'll feel a lot more confident with the exercise and you can incorporate it into your routine. First things first is you want to get yourself 2 dumbbells, obviously one for each hand. I would suggest starting light with this exercise, ensuring that you can perform the movement properly before you start increasing weight over time with the strength that will come with performing the exercise regularly. So first things first is you want to grab the dumbbell. I want you to have your wrists directly underneath your shoulder, because with this exercise you're more or less in a high plank position. So your wrist needs to be stacked in line with your shoulders. You're going to bring your legs out to get into a high plank position. However, for a Renegade row, I want you to have your feet slightly wider than hip width apart. It will help with your balance. From here, I want you to ensure that your back is nice and flat, so your hips are not sagging or piking up like this. You want your core to be engaged. So nice flat back. From here, you're going to bring the dumbbell up one at a time without swaying with your upper body. I want you to think elbows first, bring up to the ceiling, staying nice and tucked, and bring back down. Now, a way to make it easier for you to not sway, obviously ensuring that your back is nice and flat, so you are actually bracing your core, but if you also squeeze your glutes throughout the movement, it can help you to stop swaying. If you're doing this, that's not a Renegade row. You are just cheating. From the top, we're going to have your wrists in line with your shoulders. You're going to initially get up into a high plank. That way your core is now engaged and you're in the right position. However, you're then going to bring your feet out ever so slightly, easier to balance. You're going to bring up one elbow, rowing beside you. Let's run into some common and very crucial mistakes that you need to avoid. I've touched on a lot of it when going through the form, but just to recap. Common mistakes: having your hands out too wide like this. You're then going to have to really compensate if you go out too wide. So you always want to make sure that your wrists and palm is directly underneath your shoulders. Another common mistake is having your feet in too close. It's going to make that exercise a lot harder. So think just widen the hip width apart with your legs. The two I would say most common mistakes are not engaging your core properly. So having your hips like this, or piking up like this, or somewhere kind of awkwardly in between the both. You want it nice and flat. That way it is your core doing the exercise. You're then teaching your body to stabilize itself, which is fantastic for gaining strength, improving your balance, which will then translate over to all other kinds of exercises. I would say one of the other common mistakes is letting your body sway from side to side. That defeats the whole point of the exercise, because the whole point of the Renegade row is obviously, yes, to engage your back, but especially your core. Now, if you're swaying, you're going with the rotation, and that defeats the point of engaging your core. Your core is there to resist the rotation, so it's having to work overtime, and that way you're actually strengthening the muscles in your core, and you're not just going with the rotation that your body will naturally want to do. So instead of coming up like this, using momentum and not engaging your core, I want you to really brace your core, squeeze your glutes, row up and back down. You can see then there's none of this going on. And finally, a mistake which goes for basically any exercise is rushing the exercise. If you're finding that it's very challenging, that doesn't then mean that you're just going to speed up the reps. You still want them to be nice, slow and controlled, and that is where you're actually going to get the most out of the exercise, because you'll be gaining real strength. You'll be pushing your limits. It will be harder, but over time it will get easier, and then you can focus on increasing the rep range or increasing the weight over time, which is progressive overload. So you'll get stronger, you'll gain more muscle. Don't think just because you've rushed through the exercise that you're getting the most out of the exercise. No, you want the most time under tension for your muscles, and that is where the real strength and progress will come. Touching on what I said earlier, the Renegade row targets your shoulders, your rhomboids, your lats, your core, your traps, your glutes, if you're squeezing your glutes to help stabilize. So it works so many different muscle groups all within one exercise. So it is a fantastic exercise to incorporate into your sessions, whether that be your back day, core workout, or any kind of functional training like that. It will be really, really effective. So give it a go. Let me know if you do try it. And if you found this video useful, then do subscribe and follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely day.